Good morning. It's the 28th of March. I think I've been doing this. This is the fifth edition of this. You may be wondering why I'm outside and why am I tired like this. Well, it's kind of a craptastic day out there. It's what it is, overcast, but at least it's only drizzling just a little bit. One of the things we are allowed to do at this point is we're allowed to still get out and exercise. So I'm doing my Nordic walking, and unfortunately I'm not set up right now to videotape while I'm doing that. I have kind of like a Chinese fake GoPro, and it told me it has low battery, so I'm charging it. But maybe in a couple days I'll do a video specific to that. But so far so good. In the Philadelphia area, there's not a lot of change. They are creating a field hospital out at I don't know if it's a disclosed location yet, but they're creating a field hospital for people who don't have the virus but are in need of care, basically people who are stable but they need continued nursing care, etc. So I wouldn't be surprised if I end up doing some volunteer work out there at some point, probably on the mental health end of things. That'll probably be sometime starting next week. What else? Aside from that, the numbers are really starting to skyrocket at this point, but in my immediate circle of friends and people that I work with, that hasn't really hit yet. I know in a week or two it should, so I'm not looking forward to that, but what are you going to do, So anyway, that's where we are. In terms of coping, we talked about nature before. I'm going to get my dose of it, but one thing I was going to talk a little bit about is the idea that one thing you can do that's important is to remember that when you see things black and white, this is when the fight or flight response part of the brain kicks in. And when that kicks in, you're only going to see what you perceive as a threat. And you're not going to be able to see your other options. So the moment that you feel sucky in terms of dealing with anxiety or feeling down or hopeless, that's the point at which what's really kicking in your brain is the fight or flight response center, which is, if you want to be technical, it's the limbic system, which is comprised of the amygdala and the hippocampus. You're not really using the full power of your brain. You're using a more primitive part of your brain that's about threat assessment and handling. To get the fuller part of your brain, which includes your prefrontal cortex, which is the part right behind where my finger is, that's the thinking part of the brain. A good simple way to do that is to ask yourself, what are other ways of thinking about this? So what I'm going to recommend as coping for today is when you do get into that kind of panicky mode, or even if you just feel hopeless or helpless about it, you just kind of stop, take a breath, and ask yourself, what else is going on? Whether it's a good thing that's going on or something neutral, like today, a good thing for me right now is I can still get out. It's a little chilly, but I can still get out, and I can feel some fresh breeze on my face. That's good. Also ask yourself what's neutral. What's neutral is I can hear a bird. Maybe you guys can hear him too. I can hear a bird, and that has nothing to do with coronavirus. That's just, nature doing its thing. And, there's the positive unknown. You can think about that. What if they do come up with a vaccine? What if we do flatten the curve? What if everybody is okay? Or even if they get the virus, they're okay? These are other things that you can think about as well as the more negative thought. And don't throw away the negative thought. Give it a place. What I mean by that is, this is what I tell my clients a lot. Don't think about elephants doing ballet right now. Don't think about what kind of tiara they're wearing. Don't think about what color tutu they're wearing. Don't think about elephants doing ballet. I mean it. Okay? How well did that work? I'm presuming it didn't work very well at all. So, you're going to think those thoughts. That's just how it is. But to feel calmer, to be able to assess the situation a little more fully, expand your options for ways of looking at it. That's basically it in a nutshell. If you only see black and white, you're missing the gray. I'll say that again. If you're only seeing black and white, you're missing that gray, and you need that gray in order to cope. So my recommendation in terms of a coping mechanism is to do that. Now, the other third part of the Coronavirus Diaries is I talk a little bit about how I'm doing. My spirits are generally pretty up. I'm a little nervous about, transitioning to telehealth only in my practice. But, because a lot of people are saying, oh, this will blow over. Well, I'm just kind of basically reminding myself, hey, give it a week. People are going to realize it's not just going to blow over. That doesn't mean that they have to be desperate. It just means that I'm still here. If they want to talk with me, I'm still here. If any of you guys want to talk with me and you're not a personal friend of mine, you can go to psychchoices.com, and we are taking intakes over telehealth now. That's something that a lot of insurance companies will let us do. So if you're a personal friend of mine, we have other providers for you. But otherwise, if you need to talk to someone professionally, we're here. We're still here. So in any case, I kind of babbled along enough. I'm going to go do my walking and try and get some time to basically listen to a podcast while I walk and maybe shut it off every once in a while and listen to the birds. So I hope you're doing something nice like that yourself. We aren't on quarantine in Pennsylvania yet. I do know in New Jersey they have curfews already kicked in. I think that's going to be the next thing that's going to happen here in Pennsylvania. Trump was talking about a quarantine of New York City, Connecticut, and New Jersey, or at least parts of those states and towns, but he pulled that back yesterday. But he is telegraphing that's where he's going, so we'll just have to see how that all works out. Anyway, be good. I'm out. So I'm back from my Nordic walking. It was nice to see a lot of people who were obeying social distancing and also just being friendly with each other from a distance, of course. But it's a nice walk. If you can do that, do that. Although it was kind of miserable out there today. I'm not too thrilled with March weather, but that's March weather for you. Anyway, I'm out.